All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gold Senior Gold Mastermind. This is session 3 of our mastermind class. And on behalf of April and I, we just want to say thank you for joining us and taking time to invest in your business. And truly, this is a mastermind class. And the principles that we are sharing with you, if you digest them, if you take them and apply them to your business, they have the potential to change everything and help you achieve that why that you wrote about in your first week of homework. So from the very beginning, I just want to say, we implore you to not just be here to check off a box, but take and digest this information. Your homework is not just to check a box. We actually look at your homework and evaluate what we are going to be sharing with you based on what we're getting. And a lot of tonight is actually tailor-made based on what we have seen in your homework, because our goal is to see you reach your goals. Our goal is to help you reach your potential. And each and every one of you are here because you want a growing, thriving, sustainable business. So let me tell you what a growing, put in the chat. Tell me what you think a growing, thriving, sustainable business looks like. What are the elements to having a growing, thriving, sustainable business? Write that in the chat. And I will tell you what it takes. Duplication, consistency, 100%, 100%. Duplication. Okay, now right, what do you mean when you're saying duplication? What does that mean? What's duplication? Creating silvers. Yes, Emily, $1 million answer, creating leaders. Because let me tell you, my goal is not just to create silvers. Okay, I got plenty of silvers on my team that have done nada. They may still be on their products, but my goal is not silver to create silver. My goal is silver to create a leader that's going to create a leader to create a leader. Your goal in duplication is to create a business builder and turn that business builder into a leader. Okay. That's what duplication means. It's the power of 3 all the way down into your organization. Okay. So, and it starts with silver 100%, because you can't get to gold without silver, right? But that is what we are talking about. And I love what one of you guys said: consistency leading to duplication, leading to business builders, leading to leadership, and seeing that duplicate all the way down. Now, funny thing here, raise your hand if one of the things that you've been avoiding, back to homework 1, was business conversations or talking about the opportunity. Anyone? Guess what? I've been with you. Guess what? It's been a lot more comfortable for me to coach my team all day long, to create lots of great trainings. I could sit here and do this and come up with trainings for you guys and talk all day long and twice on Sundays. But guess what is the one thing that's going to move my business forward and get me to diamond? I'll give you a hint. It's the same thing that's going to help you get from your rank to the next rank. Duplication. And what does that look like? And we're going to unpack that in the next couple weeks and use this as a master class. But here's the thing that we really need to hammer in on and go back to. Guess what? What am I going to say? It goes back to your belief. And if you want to know what you are believing, look at what you're talking about. What are you posting about? And what are you talking about? Because your actions and your posting and what's coming out of your mouth shows what you're focusing on. I want each and every one of you to go back to your wall, not now, but over the past 2 weeks, and look at how many times you've been posting about the opportunity and how many times you've been posting about the products. That will give you a very clear indication about what you are excited and passionate about. Now, that's not to say that you cannot lead with our products when you are recruiting. I lead with the products a lot. In fact, when I started leading with the business, it slowed me down. I lead with the products. I just never stay there. But posting about the opportunity allows me and gives me the entree, and they already know that Plexus comes with an opportunity because they've seen it. They know that's part of who I am, what I'm passionate about, and it is a critical piece of duplication. And if you're not doing it, it means that there's a belief issue because you talk about the things that you believe in. And we need to really dig into this. When we were looking at your homework, we saw a lot of this. And let me say, multiple people had the same answers. And can I just say, you're not alone. And we've all felt this. Listen, everybody has a weak spot. Everybody has an issue that they need to overcome in this business. So can I just say you're not alone? And if you've had one of these fears or hangups, do you know what that means? You're normal. You're human. And you can learn and grow, okay? So here's what we saw a lot of. I don't have what it takes. I'm afraid of rejection. Who would follow me? I can't do this. I stink at duplication. I don't know how to create silvers. Okay. Now, I want to point out the common denominator in each one of those sentences. Anybody have an idea? The common denominator? If you have a comment, if you have an idea, Emily, you are on a roll, girl. Yes. You know who's the subject of each one of those sentences? You. Okay, it's time for a little spanking. If you are not talking about the opportunity because you're afraid of what people are going to think of you, because you're afraid that you don't have what it takes, that you're afraid of rejection or who would follow me, or you can't do this, it's because you're thinking about yourself more than you're thinking about what this opportunity can do for somebody else. The root of that is pride and selfishness. And here's the thing, it's an insidious kind of pride because pride isn't necessarily thinking more of yourself. It's not thinking less of yourself. It's just thinking of, here's the definition of humility. Pride is just thinking about yourself in general. True humility is just thinking of yourself less. Can I say that again? Thinking of yourself less. Because what do we know? We know that more people, the number one reason people go to bed at night worried is not because of inflammation. It's not because of thyroid medicine. It's not because they have extra weight around their gut. It's because of finances. More women are desperate for connection because they don't have community. Women are hungry to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And we have the answer to all of this. All of it. And by not sharing this opportunity, you have placed yourself as a wall between somebody else receiving their blessing, reaching their potential, because your eyes are on yourself and not what this opportunity can do for somebody else. Is it uncomfortable? Well, sure. But all of you were uncomfortable when you started talking about the products, right? I was, because I was never going to be that person. I was afraid people going to reject me, but I knew that what I had on my hands was gold with the products. I remember staying up at night reading about what these products were doing in people's lives. And I thought, if this is the truth, why are we not shouting this from the rooftops? Well, guess what? This is true. And the opportunity is just as transformative, if not more so, than our products. So why are we not shouting it from the rooftops? It's because the focus is on us instead of somebody else. Last Thursday, we've got a Ruby and Above Mastermind. And I mean, Brittany has always been very vulnerable with us, right? Our superstar diamond, who's on the advisory board. I'm like, I feel like a complete rock star because my sponsor like knows all the important people and I'm 1 degree away. Okay. But she's been very real with us and shared with us that her biggest struggle has been belief in herself, right? And so they asked, as Christina and Fallon and Jamie Haskins, they're 4 rock star diamonds. And they asked Brittany, Brittany, and you've heard her say this all the time. She followed up with Christina for a year, and Christina made more money than Brittany did at this point. Okay. They said, Brittany, if you had belief issues in yourself, how in the world did you keep following up with me for a year? And you know what she said? Well, I believed in network marketing. I believed in my products, and I knew what this opportunity could do for you and your family. Did you hear the word I or me or fear anywhere in that? She was simply the conduit for Christina's blessing. And now look at what's happened in Christina's life. And I dare say there's been eternal consequences because of it. And then Christina has touched thousands of people because Brittany didn't think about herself. Marriages fight about money. People get nervous because of money. And outside of Jesus, we have answers to people's biggest issues. So, are you willing to get outside of yourself, out of your own head, to lift somebody else up? Listen, I am preaching to myself. And now what used to make me uncomfortable, I'm like, let me at them. Because my greatest desire is to help other people reach their potential. And so what used to make me uncomfortable and I avoided is now like a fire in my bones. Because we have solutions and answers to help others reach their goals. Or will you allow your own thinking to limit somebody else's blessings? Now, do you remember Christina came up with, she gave us those great videos, right? And classes about, how to go from a hobbyist to a business owner, how to cast vision and all these things. So can I just say, if you are saying, well, I don't know what to say, spanking number 2. That is a big fat excuse. You have no excuses for that because you can go and spend 35 minutes, watch those videos, write down the scripts, and she has handed you a ticket with all the verbiage you need. You just need to take it and make it your own. I don't say y'all, so I won't say y'all, but I'll make it me. I'll always say happy Monday with an exclamation point, much to my husband's chagrin. But not knowing what to say is an excuse. And if that's you, just own it and learn. That's all you have to do. Learn. She's given you the verbiage. But here's the deal. When you keep the other person in mind, remember what Christina said vision casting is? It is being convinced that something could be and should be. And when you get that inside of you, when you're thinking about your dream teamer and you spend some time thinking, did you hear me? Spend some time, not just send a cut and paste message, but spend some time thinking about what this opportunity could and should and could do for this person. You may just very well unlock everything for them. But what happens? We get stuck in our thoughts. Okay, time for me to be vulnerable here. Maybe you've heard me say this before. If you're on my team, you probably have. Okay, so 2020, I hit Emerald in 2020, okay, in June, and points were just going up like crazy. And, I thought, and we were just tracking, and I thought, well, I'm just going to keep on going. I'm going to hit Sapphire. Well, and April had hit Sapphire ahead of me. Now, mind you, April's what, like 15 years younger than me? And April and I are like power partners. We love each other deeply. We really connected the year before on our first shopping spree we earned together. And here is this gorgeous blonde Barbie doll who we rank up together. And then she like takes off running by me. Okay. And I'm like her biggest cheerleader because I just assume I'm going to keep flying too, right? Because why wouldn't I? Right? Okay. Well, I think I'm going to hit Sapphire and my points actually hit a brick wall and then go backwards. And then she hits Diamond. Okay. Now raise your hand if you've ever ridden a bike. Have you guys rode a bike? Okay. What happens if you're riding a bike and you turn and you look to the side? What's going to happen to the bike? Yeah, Liz, you're going to turn and go to the side. Guess what my problem was? I took my eyes off of my own path and I put them onto somebody else's path. And nothing will steal your joy quicker and more than comparison. Thief of joy. But I hit that wall and that's what I was doing. And here I was well over 2,000 points. Like I was like at 2,400 points. Okay. And I had this crisis. I can't do this. I can't raise up business builders. This is too hard for me. I can't do this. I don't know what I'm doing. I stink. I mean, I was like crazy. And Brittany looked at me. She said, well, where'd your points come from? Like, I don't know. Like, Michelle, you have over 2,000 points. Where did your points come from? And I say this not to say, look at me, look at my points. I say this because head trash is head trash. Negative thoughts are negative thoughts. And I don't care if you've got 35 points or 3,500 points. What is the truth? What are you going to believe? I was sitting here comparing myself to somebody else, and I had no business doing that. Some of you say you can't do it because you're looking at somebody else's journey. And I'm here to tell you, spanking number 3 or 4, I can't remember, stop. You have fallen because off of your bike because you got your eyes off of your path. You were never meant to go on that path. You were meant for your path. Me, right now, I am so incredibly grateful for my journey because guess what? My team desperately needs to learn everything that I've been learning. And the victory is just as sweet when I reach it now as if actually it's sweeter because I've had to grow. And the sweetest thing, I mean, the paycheck is pretty sweet. But what the real treasure is who I've become in the process and how I've grown. Because we are raising up humble leaders that serve and that people want to follow because we've had to grow in the process. Now, I'm not saying that April's not. I'm just saying for me, this is the path that I had to be on. And I want you to know that whatever head trash you have the, remember week 1, ability and responsibility to deal with that. And everybody has head trash at different points in your journey, but what's going to be your choice? What are you going to believe the lie? Or are you going to accept it for what it is, a negative thought, take yourself through a thought model, and then really digest it? I had to change my thoughts. My thoughts were, I can't duplicate. I don't know how to create a builder. But instead, you know what I did? I started hyper-focusing on duplication. I hyper-focused. I watched Brooke Hemingway's video about creating silvers probably 27 times. And my thought was, I am a master of duplication and I am creating leaders left and right. And then I had to digest that. So let me ask you, what are you doing with your homework, with the thought models? Did you do it to just check it off? Turn it in, next. What are we doing this week? Or are you digesting it? Because if you're not digesting it, you've done nothing but chew gum and spit it out. My thoughts had to change, and then my actions had to change. And here's the deal. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? As I changed my thoughts, my business changed. And instead of thinking I couldn't or I didn't have what it takes, I owned the thought, I'm going to be a master of duplication. And that's when things started to change. And guess what? 6 months later, I hit Sapphire. Can I also tell you, there are some of you that have made a change and you're getting discouraged because it hasn't manifested in 2 weeks. That's not reality. You have to give this time to change. In our business, we know 60 to 90-day turnaround, right? Please give yourself time to change. Take the action and trust the process. One of the blessings of living in this culture is things are so fast and information all the time, but growth is not necessarily fast. So give yourself the time. The thought model was what was so important. I had to change my thoughts, and then the actions followed. And now April's going to dive a little deeper into some of those thought models.
Thank you, Michelle. I don't think I will be handing out spankings tonight, but I will be asking for some participation in the chat. All right, so wanted to reiterate a few things Michelle has said about a thought model, right? Because here Michelle is a growing, thriving Sapphire. And had Michelle not taken care of her thought life and her mindset, would she have a growing and thriving business? Maybe not, right? So there's some of you tonight who you wrote out the thought model, you checked the box and you said, okay, that's good. And you put it away for the week. And then there's others of you who rewrote the thought model, spent a little more time on it, thought about it, got in a spiral, rewrote it, right? So it matters what you do with that thought model. Are you putting it into action every single day, multiple times a day, right? Because you guys, we can choose to change our thoughts. We have to be very intentional about them because we know what 80% of the business, a big 80% is our mindset. And unfortunately, that 80%, y'all, is pretty much untouchable for your upline, right? We can coach you through things. We can love on you. We can give you hard truths, but can we actually come over there and change that mindset? No, we cannot. So that is going to be up to you. So what Michelle and I have planned is we went through all of your thought models and again, had some very similar ones. So we want to walk you through them because there were some that were kind of rough. So I want you guys to really understand how to do this so you can go and do it on your own and then go and teach your teams to do the same, okay? So I'm going to give you guys the neutral circumstance, right? The circumstance is always neutral. And then from there, we add a positive or negative thought, right? So I'm going to share the circumstance and then we're going to work through it together in the chat, okay? And you guys be writing it down so you have a good example because guess what is going to be in your homework packet again? Yes, that's right, a thought model. Okay, so the circumstance is my silver development rate is 0%, which means what? You've never produced a silver, okay? So let's talk first, you guys, about the unintentional thought. So I'm going to give you the thought. You guys are going to give me the feelings, okay? The thought is, because you haven't produced silvers, right? You're thinking, my team will never grow. My team will never grow. I have not produced a silver. Team is not going to grow. What feelings come up? Honest feelings. I see defeated, discouraged, defeated again. How else are we feeling if we feel like our team's never going to grow? Disappointed, frustrated, incapable, upset. Again, feeling like a failure. Good. Depressed, disappointed. Yes, sad even. 100%. I had the word inadequate, right? Tired. I'm tired, right? I can't produce those silvers. Okay, so what lack of actions are we going to take? So actions are physical things, right? We have to make sure that the feelings and actions are very different. Okay, you're not going to follow up. You're not going to do IPA. Good. You're going to stop the IPA. Good. Not sharing about the business. Yes. Good. No reach outs. Okay. I had, you are going to stop working. You're going to slow down, inconsistent IPA. You're going to pick and choose what you're going to do or not do, right? Not jumping on team calls. Yes. Good, Molly. Okay. Very good. So what's going to be the results, y'all? What is going to happen? What's going to manifest because of that thought you had in your head? You're going to quit. Okay. You won't develop those silvers. Very good. Your business will not grow. Yes. Points are going to drop. Yes. You're going to remain the same. Good. No silvers. Is that what we want, y'all? And can you imagine, because we attached a negative thought to a circumstance that was completely neutral, that's what happened in our business, right? How quickly our thoughts turned negative and we spiraled, right? And we know, y'all, when you spiral, it isn't just we're on paper, it's an all day, everyday thing. And it's the next day and the next day and the next day. And soon you look back and guess what? The month of February, you did nothing. You took no action because you're stuck in your mind, right? So let's rewrite it together, okay? So the thought now is, I can dig in and be a student of this area. We can be a student of duplication, y'all, right? How does that make y'all feel? Very different, right? Excited, more focused, hopeful, empowered. Love that. Encouraged. Yes. Ready to go and learn. Go take some ownership. Yes. Those are all great, y'all. Equipped. 100%. I'm trying to see if I had anything different. Motivated, in control, right? You know exactly what you need to go and do in order to move forward. Okay, very good. All right, now actions. What physical things does that mean you're going to be doing? More IPA? Yes. Watching all the videos? Yes. You guys are typing so fast, I can't even keep up. Reaching out, posting, yes. Following up, consistent, taking action, wanting to learn all the things. Yes, so being a student of our profession, y'all. I think about it like every single job out there, there's no job you can't continue to grow and get a bigger paycheck without doing continuing education. And I'm telling you guys, the people who dig in and do the education and don't just consume, they go and implement, those are the people who are growing very quickly. Okay, good. So that was actions. What's going to be our results then? If you're saying I can dig in, I can do this, I can take ownership, what is it going to look like? Growth. You're going to develop all the silvers, ranking up. Yes, yes, yes. See, isn't this way more exciting than our last one, right? It's firing me up. Leaders, developing leaders. Yes. Very good. You're going to have a bigger belief, right? Because what? Results motivate us, right? Okay, very good. Silver stars. Ooh, I love that, Tracy. Okay, y'all nailed it. All right. Second circumstance that we saw over and over and over and over again that y'all are attaching negative thoughts to is, I don't have business builders. I don't have business builders. Okay. So the thought that I'm giving y'all is, so it pops in your head and you're like, I haven't found any people to build with yet. I haven't found any people to build with yet. How does that make you feel? Discouraged, all alone. Ooh, that's good. Yes, feeling very alone, isolated, frustrated. Here's the thought again, if y'all need to hear it. I haven't found any people to build with yet. Like I'm doing something wrong. That's good, Jackie. Spinning your wheels by yourself. Yes, yes, yes. Inadequate, defeated, discouraged. Yes. I had embarrassed. Are you embarrassed that people know that you don't have business builders? Are you feeling insecure? Are you feeling confused? Like, what the heck am I doing here? right? Those are some of them I had. Ashamed, yes. Doubting yourself, very good. Okay, what's going to be the lack of actions? What kind of actions won't you probably be taking? You're not going to cast vision. Excellent. And if you're casting vision, it's probably very shallow. It's probably, let's get those products covered, right? Not being bold, not offering the opportunity. Yes, not doing that IPA, not reaching out, not going to have dream teamers. We don't want that. Lack of confidence. Yes, y'all are nailing it. You're going to stop talking about that business. Okay, good. Okay, that was action, right? Okay, results. What kind of results we're going to have in our business? Because of that one thought you had and allowed to spiral and probably manifest on for weeks. You're going to be stuck. So no team growth, no duplication, right? The paycheck's going to go down. Maybe you're going to lose your rank, y'all, right? Maybe you're going to question whether or not you can do this. Yes, no growth, not inspiring people. Excellent. So again, because we didn't take ownership and have some self-awareness of, ooh, I'm about to spiral. Let's work this out in my head. Let's figure out what's going on. That's what happened, right? So let's go ahead and rework it with an intentional thought. The thought is, I can choose to get outside my comfort zone and create business builders, because y'all, you're never going to find a business builder. You will never find a business builder. You go and create them. And that is so important that you understand the difference between the two. So how are you feeling if you're thinking, hey, I get to get outside that comfort zone and I'm going to go and I'm going to create those business builders? Ooh, I love Angela's answer. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. One of my favorite verses. Yes, hopeful, excited, determined, empowered, right? Yes, you're motivated, you're excited, you're confident that you're going to go and do this thing. Yes, excellent. Okay, what kind of actions is that going to lead to? Ooh, that's good, Sarah. Purposeful, yes. Okay, so you're going to share boldly. You're going to do more reach outs. Yes. You are going to be willing to dig in, right? And learn. 100% consistent vision casting, right? That's important. Sharing with a passion. Yes. Passion and excitement create motivation, which create momentum, right? Yes. Okay. All right. Y'all nailed it. Okay. So what we want you to do this week is continue to do this process over and over and over, multiple times a day, whatever it's going to take to start really digging in and rewiring those thoughts. Because our thoughts, y'all, 80% of the business, it's going to be really important that we hone in on them now. Because what happens as you grow a team and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, y'all, what happens is you have to go help your people process their thoughts, right? So it's important that we're able to get a handle on our own thoughts before we're leading others, right? Actually, it could be at the same time, both and. All right, Michelle is going to jump in and talk, excuse me, a little bit about the expectations and just the process of duplication.
Yes, that was so great, April. I love every bit of what you shared. And I hope this really kind of gave muscle to your skeleton to help your thoughts, because remember, belief is the most important ingredient to your success. Now, let me say, before I jump into the process and expectations, let me say one more thing. Belief is definitely the number one ingredient and most important ingredient to your success. But hear me when I say this. You do not have to have perfect belief to start getting results. Right? What comes first, the chicken or the egg? Because you need the belief, but sometimes you need to start getting your butt in gear and take actions, and that's going to fuel your belief. Do you see what I'm saying? Listen, when Jesus talked about faith, he didn't say that you had to have faith that was huge. He said you need to have faith as small as a mustard seed, because a mustard seed, which is the smallest seed, can move a mountain. Just use that seed. And listen, belief does not mean personality. Hear me. Nobody's expecting Molly to be Michelle. Nobody's expecting Liz to be April. Nobody's expecting Tracy to come across like Christina. You need to have your belief and put it into action and passion according to the gifts that God is and your personality, what God has given you. Don't sit here and listen. Some of you are thinking this, well, I'm just not like Michelle. I'm not fiery. I'm not this. I'm not that. Stop. Because you're going to reach the people that God has given you that I could never reach. Use the faith and the belief that you have, and it will continue to grow as you get your feet into action. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not, I have to get to this level before I can do this. It's both and. It's both and. Okay, so let's talk about that and part. Let's talk about the process. And I need to set the stage for you for expectations, okay? What April said cannot be understated because I've heard this so many times. I haven't found my business builders yet. Where are you finding your business builders? How are you getting these business builders? It's because they've been created and developed. Okay? Created and developed. What you need to understand is that this process is almost identical for the products. Answer this in the chat. What is the expectation? How many times do we need to follow up with somebody for the products before they make a purchasing decision? 8 to 12, absolutely. You know what? For the opportunity, my guess is it's going to be 12 and up because you're asking people to invest their life, their reputation, their time, not just a swipe of a card. It takes time. And is it normal, yes or no, for people to ignore you or not answer you when you reach out about the products? Yes or no? Yes. So guess what? They're going to ignore you until you know about the opportunity. That's part of the process. You just don't stop. You just don't stop. You're going to have ignores, you're going to have no's, and you're going to have to keep following up time and time and time and time and time again. And you're going to need to vary the results. And it takes effort. Okay. Now, part of your homework, you're going to get this sheet. And what it's going to have is you're going to be able to put the names of your people down. And it's like a visual tracker. You can have a little hash mark to see how many times you followed up with them. So you can see, because unless you have followed up with people 12 plus times, you're not even close to them saying yes yet. So if you're sitting here saying, yes, Liz, I just saw you go like that. Exactly. If you have a list, and this is why we wanted to give you a visual of what it takes, because each time you cast vision, you get to check, I'm that much closer. I'm that much closer. Because it takes all these seeds, all these drippings of casting vision. Now, let me make this clear. Casting vision is the process of planting seeds with your people. And that comes first before they're willing to even have a business conversation. Remember last week how we went over the weekly sheet of what you're supposed to be doing on a weekly basis, and there's a part there for business conversations. Okay, a business conversation is, gee, I think you'd be wildly successful if you did this. That's not a conversation. A conversation is when you are actually talking back and forth to somebody, and that conversation is not going to happen unless you've cast a whole lot of vision first. So you know where I got tripped up? Because I was thinking about this. I'm like, gosh, why am I not doing this? You know what it was? I just didn't like the process of having to do it over and over and over again. But you know why? Because I was just thinking of myself and I wasn't thinking about the other person. Because when I think about the other person and what this will do for them, once they say yes, let me cast vision all day long. And it honestly doesn't take that long. It takes me maybe a minute to think of this person, think about their issues, think about what this opportunity can do for them, and then send them a message. And you do that, and you do that, and you do that, and you do that, and then you do that, and then you keep doing it until they say, yes, I'm open to a conversation. It is a process and it takes effort. You need consistency. So let me ask you this. How much effort and time and patience is your dream worth? How much is it worth? Will it take getting uncomfortable? Yes. But only if you're thinking about yourself, because the uncomfortability only comes when you're thinking about yourself and how they're going to treat you or not treat you or ignore you. But when you keep them at the focus, then you can continue to cast vision and seeds. Okay? Effort, time, follow-up, getting uncomfortable, but then you will see results, right? I'm looking at my notes. Okay. So business builders are made, they are not found. They are created and developed, and it takes time. No's and ignores are part of the process. And the brass tacks, what does that look like? It means casting vision over and over and over again. And part of your homework this week will be watching Christina's video about how to cast vision. If you don't know how to do it, after this video, you will. She even tells you what to say. And it just means doing it over and over and over again until someone's willing to have the business conversation with you. Here's what I've, this idea came to me. I was talking to one of my leaders, and this really helped my thinking, because when we sit down to do IPA, what are we talking about? Income producing activity. Generally, we're talking about joins for the product, right? And we're talking about the process, and we understand the process of IPA, of sending out a new message, inviting them. We understand the process for recruiting to get somebody to join for the products, right? What if you looked at your IPA two ways? One for the products and one for business builders. Okay, now hear me. Some of the people are going to fall in both buckets. People that haven't joined yet that are dream teamers, right? I've got this beautiful girl. She's going to join me one day. Her name is Talia. She is like Hispanic Barbie, and she is just gorgeous. And she's done network marketing before. I want her on the products, and I want her to be working the business with me. Okay. So she's in both buckets. Okay. So I'm going to be following up with her about both because she's a dream teamer of mine. Now, some people are just in the business, the duplication bucket. You know who those people are? My happy product users. Start with what you have. God has given each one. If you're on this call, you've got a team. And God has given each one of you people to be following up with. And don't tell me they're not interested if you haven't followed up with all of your happy product users at least 12 times about this opportunity. Start with what you have. Be faithful with what you have, with what God has already given you. Okay? So as I'm thinking about my IPA, I'm thinking about the products, but I'm also thinking about how many messages a day am I casting vision, getting to my business building goal. What if you started thinking about your IPA in two lenses, for the products and for the business? Because I can guarantee you, if you had to default, you're always going to default to the products, and let the other one go by the wayside because it's not as comfortable. But that very thing that you're avoiding is what's going to get you to where you want to go. But it's a process. And if you understand it's a process and the expectations, you understand that, guess what? If it doesn't happen overnight for you, you know what that means? You're normal. you're normal. And you do it over and over and over and over again until you get to the conversations. And then you plug people into systems. So you're planting seeds. Casting vision is another way of saying planting seeds for people over and over and over again for the process. And you have to be willing to go the distance in the process. And here's my question for you. Are you willing to do it even if it's on their timetable and not yours? A lot of times we want it to be our timetable, but it really isn't about you. It's about them. So remember, there's a timetable for this, and it does take effort. And in the meantime, you're also connecting with them, because this isn't just about what you can get for them, but it's about the connection and the relationship all along the way. So, April, you want to share your duplication story?
Yes, I would. So I wanted to reiterate a few things because y'all, they're important. So one, you cannot be a successful business owner, y'all, a six-figure business owner without duplication. So it's time to dig in now and to start figuring out some skill set, right? Because you guys know duplication equals no business. Maybe you have a welcome pack business, but you don't have a growing and thriving business full of up and coming leaders, right? So we're not looking for 100 people. No, we're looking for 3, 4, 5 gold bricks, right? And here's the thing, y'all. For those of you who are not currently posting about what the business is doing for you at this moment, whether it filled your tank of gas or it put groceries on in your cart, I guess I could say, in your cart, in your trunk, you guys, whatever it's doing is more relatable than Michelle and I saying, hey, we brought home a 5-figure check this month and it did this, and this for us, right? So if you're not currently posting what you consider probably, oh, it's these little things, guys, that could be make or break for someone. That could be the reason why they say yes, right? So making sure that you are incorporating in your social media what your income is doing for you and your family and what it could do for others. And it's important that we cast big vision right off the bat, because y'all, it's all these little baby steps. If we're doing the whole, hey, let's get your products covered, let's make you $300. It's like you're constantly trying to keep them excited and motivated and engaged and casting vision and vision and vision. Why don't you just start right away on the welcome call and go in bold, right? Because there's probably some people that you're losing because you're not being bold enough, right? Because you're not going with the big vision. You're doing the little baby steps. And that takes more time than just going in and saying, this is why I see potential in you, and this is why it's going to change your life, right? So I wanted to share with you guys, I was looking in my virtual office and I think I forgot that I started duplicating right off the bat. And so I just wanted to share with you guys what it kind of looked like. In my first 3 months of business in 2018, when I started in May. So in May, I went silver. Okay, but I didn't just go silver. I also created a silver right off the bat. Okay, it was my friend Courtney. We went to high school together. We were college roommates, helped her go silver that same month. That next month, Sister Abby joins, right? And guess what happened, y'all? I helped her go silver, but then here's the kicker. She saw me produce a silver, so she was like, oh my gosh, I need to go and do the same. And she produced a silver. That next month, y'all, I'm a gold now, right? This next person is from Cold Market. She was local, but I had never met her before, reached out to her. She was a local military spouse. Again, she joined that month. She went silver. We got her beyond silver. So it was just like this thing that started, right, with my team. And how did it happen, y'all? Is Abby and I as silvers were doing our own live events, and it scared us to death. but we just decided we're going to do this thing and we're going to do it right. And you guys, we spoke to people's pain points and connected with them, right? And walked them through the different steps to what this could look like for their family, and spent hours being students. And I've showed my team this. Yes, Tina, those good old launch parties, gotta love them. You guys, the names that we had were hilarious, like Abby's pink drink party, or it was just cheesy, but we loved it, or launch party. I came across this binder about a week ago or so, and I shared it with my team. But here we have the fancy catalog, right? Yes, from 2018, got to keep that, right? And I'm going through this binder, and I am just shocked because I forgot about this. But this stack of papers, y'all, I don't know if you can see the thickness. I mean, it's a pretty big stack of papers, okay? These are all videos I watched the first month I joined Plexus. Hello, leadership owner, right? Taking owner of your business, ownership. Yes. Like, y'all, all of these things were trainings. And I just said, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to be able to understand what I need to go and do. So it wasn't me depending on my upline saying, tell me what to do. It was, I'm going to dig in. I'm going to do the work and I'm going to go learn the things. Another thing that stood out to me, y'all, is one of these. Do you guys remember these? This is a 200 new contact tracker that I had filled out week 2 that I joined Plexus. So why the heck did I do all this? Why did I get a binder? Why did I dig into being a student, learning how to duplicate early? Because I had belief. Because I had belief. Why did I have belief? Because I dug in. Because I did the work. Because I showed up, right? And that alone, you guys, inspires people, excites people, motivates people. And so right now, there's some of you on tonight where you're not giving yourself enough credit. You're saying, I probably can't do this. I'm probably not cut out for this. You know what's wrong is you're in your thoughts and you're in your mind versus taking the action that's required to move the needle forward. We're literally giving you guys all the secrets that we know. And it's going to be up to you of whether or not you're going to move forward. And so you guys, duplication has good things to it. It's not just this daunting, scary thing. It's more fun together. Everyone agree? Way more fun together, right? You get to meet new people. Some of my best friends are from the cold market. You have better retention rates when you're duplicating together as a full team. More hands make the work lighter, right? So you get to push that snowball up the hill, and it goes a lot faster that way. And so you guys, it doesn't matter what rank you are. As you can see, as a silver, started to duplicate right away. What matters, you guys, is how hungry you are and how willing you are. And that's going to go hand in hand with how bold you are and how many times you're following up. There's some people on this tracker sheet, I was looking, there were some that were crossed off 3 years ago plus. There were some that were highlighted. Some of those crossed off people that said no to me 3 years ago, they're now on my team. Some of those people that were crossed off 3 years ago, they're building with me currently. Some of those people that are crossed off, they're nowhere to be seen, and that's okay. They unfriended me. Some of those people that are highlighted, I'm still reaching out to them. Someone on this sheet, she literally joined me the other day. You guys, if you're not following up and doing it consistently, I mean, you might as well not even start messaging them, because someone else, probably from Freedom Team, is going to go and recruit them. And that might be their next rock star. And you'll sit back and say, I should have reached out to her. I should have followed up with her. And so don't make that mistake. I've made that mistake a few times. Get systems in place, get organized, take action, do the things that we're sharing with y'all, and you're going to see forward progress. So Michelle, do you have any last minute thoughts before I go over our homework for the week?
No, next week, well, just next week, we're going to be going over a lot of brass tacks. Dig into the homework. I think you'll see why. So go ahead and share. Thanks, April.
Okay. Let me grab our homework. Here it is. Make it a little bigger for y'all. All right, so my amazing assistant made this. I need to give her credit because I would not be able to make this look this nice. Okay, so again, we're going through a new thought model. Now, here's something I wanted to share with y'all. If you are going through, you're doing your circumstance, it's neutral, and you have several thoughts that pop up, you need to do one thought per line, and then you start a whole new thought model if you're having lots of different thoughts surrounded around that specific circumstance. Does that make sense? So just one thought per line. So you do your thought model. We're talking about casting vision. You're going to watch Christina's video. We'll drop it in the chat. The link is also right here for y'all. If you've already watched it, I want you to go watch it again. Okay. And you're going to answer these questions, really analyze, think about things, apply them to your business. And then here's your beautiful vision casting sheet or vision casting seeds sheet where you can put your future business builders down here. And you literally can do little ticks or checks or happy hearts, whatever you want to be, whatever you want to put there to let yourself know that you're making progress in this area. So not a super heavy week for homework. We did this on purpose because we wanted to make sure that y'all have time to really digest this information, but then go and take some action, go and connect with people that you haven't connected with, go and plant some seeds, go and duplicate. So that is all we have for y'all tonight, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks.